Hi guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the Jennifer West podcast. Now, today, I'm actually going to talk about one of the big reasons as to why you are always starting again and why you're always quitting on yourself. Like, why you aren't able to just stick your neck out for yourself and do the things you said you're going to do. It's so easy for us to make excuses when things seem hard or we don't really know how they're going to play out. And in the 15 years I have been in this industry and I've been helping women in the same position as you, one thing that's really important to build is this key thing that's going to really make the difference in you doing the things you say you're going to do and you just coming up with excuses every single time. And this isn't about diet and this isn't about training. This is about who you are and your standards for yourself. I talk so much about standards for yourself with my clients because without standards, you aren't going to do anything. If you have the bar set really low on how you view yourself, how you view what you want and how important that is to you, you aren't going to get there. And so alongside kind of doing a diet and doing training, you need to reevaluate your standards and how much you put yourself on a pedestal and how important you think you are. And I'm going to just hazard a guess right now. I think most people listening to this will probably find it really easy to not have the highest kind of standard for themselves. And that can transpire by just always putting other people first. I know that I've definitely had my moments where I've found it very easy to keep putting other people first. And sometimes it's fine to do that, right? There's people, you've got kids, you've got a partner, there's things that are going to take priority. But if you are constantly finding yourself bottom of the pile, then you are literally abandoning yourself and saying to yourself, you're literally saying to yourself, I'm not important enough for this. And so instead what happens is, year after year after year, you are living your life not feeling good in yourself, not feeling confident in how you look and feel. And you're just saying to yourself, that's the bar I set for myself. I'm going to say like this the rest of my life. I'm fine with it. If you're not fine with it, please keep listening to this podcast episode because during this podcast episode, I am hoping to help you leave with more of a backbone for yourself and being like, no, fuck that. I deserve to feel good. I deserve to put my time and energy into myself. And this is something you're going to have to learn how to prioritize because it's not easy when you're so used to, turning up for everybody else, going literally, killing yourself for the people, bleeding yourself dry, exhausting yourself emotionally, physically, sometimes even financially for other people all the time, that you leave nothing left for yourself. And that is actually stopping you from being consistent. That is stopping you from losing the body fat you want. That is stopping you from achieving the body that you want to achieve. And as little as you don't think that's important right now, by the end of this podcast, you will realise, I'm talking really fast because I'm very passionate, that actually, shit, Jenny is right. I don't prioritise myself. I don't have very high standards for myself. And actually you start to connect the dots and realise that this is stopping you from getting to where you want to be. So I'm going to start off by reading a message I got today from one of my clients. And she's not been with me for very long. She's about 3 weeks in. She started on 20th of July. Today is the something of August. 12th. And I'm going to read it out to you. Just nearly hit myself in the face with my phone there. So just for context, anyone who works with me, we don't just do diet and training. You probably got that by now. I work on who the fuck you are. Who are you? Who do you identify as? What are your standards? What are your goals? What is the kind of woman that you want to be? Because until you act like the kind of woman that you want to be, you're not going to get there. And so I'm constantly building up my clients from the inside out. And this client in particular, she's had 3 lessons from me now. So working through different things, working on our standards, working on identity, emotional stability, all the things that build you up to become the kind of woman who can start something and she can see it through to the end. And I know that loads of you are not in that position right now. You always have excuses, always something on top of you. There's always another reason not to do it. And it's not about you having less willpower than anyone else. It's about your standards. Okay, let's get into the message. So I rewatched last week's lesson and felt the need to rewatch last week's. Sorry, I just repeated myself. I felt the need to rewatch last week's lesson as well. I'm a little disappointed in myself this past week. I feel like I fell into old habits. Bear in mind, she's only 3 weeks in, so that is to be expected. I fell into some old habits some days of making an excuse or falling into an emotional spiral. I really, really love this week's lesson though. I keep imagining the version of me I want to be, and I made the decision she would make. The me who feels amazing in skin would eat this instead of that. The version of me who is building muscle and keeping the weight off would go for a walk, even if she feels like just sitting in the couch. I mentioned this in my check-in, but I do feel proud that I went into each day with a clean slate. Before, I would easily throw away a whole week just because I messed up one day. I would do okay. I would do okay. I'll just give myself the rest of this week and start again on Monday. I feel like this is when I realize this is not just another quick fix. I'm completely reshaping my life. This isn't just something I'm going to be doing until I lose the weight. It's going to be something I do for myself for the rest of my life. And when I view it that way, it's easy for me to just say, okay, I fell off a bit yesterday, but today I am back on track. I really needed a reminder of last week's lesson 2 of making decisions with intention and not just emotions. You are right, there are many days I don't have the motivation, but I need to do it because I have my goals to meet. And I need to do it because it's what's good for me. There are many things we don't want to do, but we must because it's what's best for us. She then went on to say, I'm also enjoying the challenge this new lifestyle brings me. It's no longer feeling like a challenge of what I should be eating because my core meals have made this easy. The core meals context is a way that I structure a lot of my clients' food in a way that they get to pick and choose kind of off a menu of meals they enjoy. So they are able to pick pizza if they want to. They can have tacos if they want to. So she's saying she's made it's been easier because she's been picking off her core meals. The challenge is more mental for me now. Small decisions each day, saying no to temptation, deciding to get up and do the work because I know if I don't start now, I'm never going to do it. I will admit it's still a work in progress because I did fall into a victim mindset a little these past couple of weeks, this week, but realizing this mental battle is also helping me. It reminds me of something you said in the very first lesson. How we know when an excuse is real or when it's just bullshit. It's like the future version of me is battling with past me over certain decisions and I'm learning to lean more into the future me mindset. I stumbled over loads of words to that. I'm so sorry, I'm not the best at reading. So you can see there from that client that the biggest realization, she's come to me, right, wanting to lose 30, 40 pounds. She's 3 weeks in. She's had 3 lessons from my curriculum. And in that time, she's now really recognized herself. I've said to her, it's going to be a mindset change. It's going to be, this has to happen for you to start being able to do the things you need to do. But she is now saying she's realized that all the areas in which she was like slowing herself down and kind of like sabotaging her own progress in previous attempts. And now it feels different because we're talking about those things. We're talking about the failed attempts. We're talking about what happened. We're talking about why she viewed things a certain way. We're talking about a different way to look at it. And so what I want you to take away from this is, right now, you're struggling for various reasons. And the list could be really, really long. And it's different for each client that comes to me. But what I want you to realize is, how you want to turn up for yourself is down to you. What you put in your head now, what your goal is. Go wild with it. Don't hold back. Don't play small now. We're playing big. Okay? We do enough of that in our lives as women. Play big. What is your goal? What is it that you want to wake up feeling every day? How do you want to feel when you catch yourself in the mirror? How do you want to feel when you are moving your body? How comfortable do you want it to feel? How do you want to feel when you go shopping and you're buying clothes and you're going out for dinner with your friends or your partner, or you're stepping onto the beach and you're wearing a 2-piece? How do you want to feel? Some of you have no idea what that feeling will be like because you've not experienced it yet. Some of you might have achieved it in the past doing strict diets and you got there, but you lost that feeling very quickly upon returning home, right? However it is you want to look and feel. Now, envision what that woman, that version of you will do each day. What kind of things is she doing to feel and look that way every single day? Is she making an effort to eat lots of fresh foods and cook things from scratch and not just get an easy takeout every night? Is she making an effort to go outside and get fresh air and get some walks? Is she prioritizing her sleep? Is she prioritizing her recovery? Is she somebody who's letting everybody else's needs and wants come in front of her all the time? That another week goes by and then another week, and she turns around and goes, I've not got a workout in for last month. No, she isn't doing that shit. She isn't. She isn't. And so what I want you to do is I want you to try and become someone who is better at prioritizing themselves, for number one. Better at prioritizing yourself. Okay, hard, I know, particularly if you are the biggest empath, particularly if you're really good at taking everybody's loads. But this is the important thing. You count too. Your life matters too. Whatever situation you're in now, if you've got children, I always say to my clients, you're not just a mother. You're still you. You're still your own entity. You're still your own person. Being a mother is the most amazing thing you can be. I haven't got children myself. I'm a stepmother. It is the most beautiful thing. But I'm still me. You're still you. And so you get to wake up and you get to feel like you have some ownership over who you are and how you look. Right? You aren't past it. You're not on the shelf. The boat hasn't sailed, right, and dropped anchor and you're just stuck there for the rest of your life. Wherever you are sat right now, it can change. You can change where you are right now by deciding that, you know what, I'm worth something. I'm worth moving my body for just 30 minutes 3 times a week. You don't need to go and work out for an hour 7 days a week. Let me tell you that now. Most of my clients don't work out more than 3 times per week. Some of them work out from home because it's easier. Some of them use the gym at work. Okay? But you are worth being able to spend at least 3 slots of 30 minutes a week being able to move your body. It's about prioritizing that time for yourself. I don't even want to sit here and say like, I know that some of you haven't got the time. Some people's lives are busier, right? My days start at 5:30, they end at 7:30. And then that evening is for my partner and myself, getting house chores done, cooking, getting ready for bed. I go to bed early, I'm up in the morning. But I structure my days in a way that means I can fit that shit in. And so I want you to start looking at your week in advance, and I do this with all my clients. On a Sunday, do not go into Monday thinking, I hope this week is the week I find the time. Wrong. You will not find the time. You will find excuses because that is the old version of you. The new version of you, she looks at the week on a Monday, on a Sunday, even better on a Sunday, and she decides what is the best pockets of time I've got to go outside for a walk. What are the best times I've got to be able to go and get a workout in? Can I switch this day around to here? Can I move this to here? Can I meet a friend here for a walk instead of meeting her out for dinner and drinks? You can either be somebody who's got reasons as why not to do things, or you can be somebody who finds reasons as to why to do things. And what's interesting is you can probably find solutions for every other problem in your life and for everybody else's problems because we're really good at helping people, really good at saving people and being there for people. But what about you? Right? Do not sit here and pretend. If you aren't happy with how you look and feel, do not sit there and pretend and fib yourself that you're okay with this rest of your life. Because it is so easy to turn it around. And this is why I'm getting goosebumps saying this. It is so easy to turn it around when you start raising your fucking bar. Raise your bar higher. You deserve to feel good in yourself. You deserve to spend 3 30-minute sessions a week on yourself. You deserve to be able to have proper food, not just garbage takeouts 5 nights a week. Takeouts are okay. I'm a massive advocate of eating what you want, but in moderation, okay? It's having it here and there, not making it a default setting because you haven't made the time to cook because you didn't look at your week in advance. And so if we look at now kind of to the food side of things, because I've moved over into that, it's the same approach as finding time to go and work out, finding time to go and get your nails done, finding time to go and wash your hair. You look at your diary, you figure out the best time to do it, and you make it happen. And the same goes to food. You need to have a look at the week in advance and think, what meals am I going to have this week? So my clients, like I said, they follow a core meal structure. So a lot of them do anyway. And it's where they actually build their own menus of lunch, breakfast, dinner options, that foods they enjoy, foods they want to eat. And they make sure they've got the ingredients in. They make sure it's easy for them to do that. And a lot of the time when it comes to actually like turning up for yourself, it's about making what you need to do desirable and easy, and often linked to reward. And then making the unhelpful things, the unhelpful habits you might have, the excuses you have, make them really hard to follow through. So I'll give you an example, something I implement with clients. If you come back from work and you're tired, and it's really, really easy for you to just go, open a cupboard, there's a bottle of wine right there, there's some chips right there, there's whatever your kryptonite is right there, and you grab that. Your default setting is then over on the sofa, sit down, Netflix and chill, and you got snacks and you think, well, I'm tired, I've had a really long day. The other option is, if you go to a gym, you put your gym kit into the car, you go straight to the gym from work with a snack in the car with you, whether it's a protein bar, a protein smoothie, anything, a bag of chips, even apple or banana, something. If you're really hungry, to curb it, take it off the edge, get in, go and do your workout and come home. You may add an extra 45 minutes, an hour into your evening. That's an hour taken away from sitting on the sofa doing nothing that isn't going to progress you or get you to where you want to be. And it comes back to that thing again. the woman you want to become, what the fuck is she doing every single evening? She's probably not sitting on the sofa doing 3 hours Netflix. And I just want to say there's nothing wrong with that. I definitely spend 2 hours in the evening watching Netflix most nights, but I've done my workout for the day. I get up at 5:30 to get that in. I could easily stay in bed till 7 o'clock. I work from home. I don't even need to go to a place of work. And you may think that makes it easier, but it doesn't, because I'm also right near my kitchen every single day. I'm also right next to the couch. You know, there's loads of things to distract me. I have ADHD to fuck. Like, I can find myself, you know, mowing the lawn and like I washed the windows last week outside because I haven't got a window cleaner yet, and I've been here for 5 years, so I haven't organised it. And I'm meant to be doing something else. And I texted my partner, I was like, I'm literally washing all the windows, because I was sitting here working and I could see the dirt and it was irritating me when the sun shined on it. I'm digressing, but the point is someone's situation might be different to yours. They might work from home, you might go to an office. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what anyone else's setup is. What's your setup? What's the best way you can make this work? And so another thing is, I want to kind of take it back to the habits again. So if that habit of coming into the house, the bottle of wine, the snacks, the sofa is really easy for you, that you can break habits by making them really hard. So it might be that the wine isn't at the front of the cupboard. Maybe it's in a box with loads of sellotape around it up in the loft. And every Friday you get it out then if you're having a glass at the weekend, right? Maybe you don't even buy the chips and you'd have to then go out of the house to the shop to go and get them, but you hide your purse so you can't find it. You take Apple Pay off your phone so you can't just impulse purchase. These are there's so many little tactics you can do that just make it easier for you to make a better choice, or even just give you the 10-minute breather you need to remind yourself of who you want to be, where you want to get to, and what that's going to take. Dieting and losing body fat is not doom and gloom. It's not restriction, it's not missing out. But if you are struggling and you are it's easy for you to fall into the excuses and old patterns, little things like this are great temporarily while you build up the confidence, because it's all about habit stacking. So your brain is used to what you're currently doing, and that's normal to it. It's almost safety. Familiarity is safety in our bodies, whether that's something good or something bad. And so if you are finding it really easy to do those things, you can also find it really easy not to do those things. And you can actually find it really easy to do things that are going to help you. Okay, so having the gym kit in your car, maybe when you come in, you don't even walk into the kitchen, you have everything ready by the door so you can grab your things, change, get out for a walk. I want you to sit and think to yourself, what ways in which could I change things that are going to make it easy for me to be able to do just one thing? Just one thing. I'll challenge you this week. Don't try and change everything. Try and change one thing. Try and do one workout. One workout a week. One workout a week is 4 in a month. 4 in a month is versus none in a month is better than nothing. And you might not think 4 a week is enough to change your body, but what 4 a week is doing is it's stacking belief to your brain that sometimes you stick to your words and it plays out. And that builds confidence. And you'll find yourself getting a second workout in a week, and maybe even a third workout. Every time you make a meal at home from scratch, you are reaffirming to yourself that you are a woman who sticks to her word. Do not be a woman full of excuses. And don't feel bad if you feel like you are right now. And I just want to make sure that this doesn't feel like I'm kind of like telling you that the way you're behaving isn't great. It's really common, and I see it all the time. And I think I get really frustrated by it because I also know it doesn't need to be that way. And just these little tips of making good habits really easy and attached to a reward. So the reward may be, if I consistently do 2 workouts a week for the next month, I will go and book a facial for myself in my favorite spa. I might go and buy that bag I've seen. I might go and get, whatever it is, get my nails done. It might be something completely different. Like, you know, if it's something that's, if I don't do this, if I last a week and don't do this, I reward myself. And then the bad habits or the things that aren't helping you get towards your goal, make them really difficult to do. Remove apps from your phone. You know, delete the takeaway number of you. Block the website. Do whatever you need to do that makes it easy for you not to do that. It gives you that chance to breathe and reaffirm to yourself, who am I? Where do I want to be? And what's it going to take for me to get there? I know that all of you have the ability within you to be the woman that you want to be, but it starts with that standard for yourself and what you think you deserve. And most likely right now, there is a few that just don't really think that you deserve it. And I think that's why you find it often easy not to do those things. But I'll leave with this. No one here was put on this planet with the gift of just being able to pick things that are best for them and the time to be able to go and do the things that are best for them. No one was. Some people are busy than other people. I agree with that, and I'll not deny that anybody. But it doesn't need to take much to start standing up for yourself and start sticking your neck out for yourself. Even if it's not that you're working out right now, you don't even need to go and work out. You can just start going for walks, start drinking more water. Say to yourself, I will take my vitamins and minerals every morning without fail. That takes 20 seconds. Tell me it does, and it does. And every time you stack something and reaffirm to yourself that you are a woman who says she's going to do something, she follows through, you will build on it, and you'll build on it, and you'll build on it. And it might not feel like much each week, but you'll turn around in a month and you can probably list a whole list of things that you've done this month that you wouldn't have done before. Because you didn't overwhelm yourself with all these kind of things. You just thought, I'll try and do what I can where I can. I'll organise it on a Sunday. I will write down, things I want to do as part of my morning routine, and I'll make sure I get these things done. I hope you guys found this really useful, and I hope it's given you the confidence to realise that there's nothing, I hate to say this phrase, it's so overused, but there is nothing wrong with you. There isn't. You just haven't stacked enough good habits for yourself. You haven't recognised that maybe your standards aren't high enough for yourself. You aren't prioritising yourself. Ask yourself, why aren't you prioritising yourself? Where's that come from? Why is everybody else more important than you? Because you're just as valuable as the next person. And I learned that the hard way. I hope you really enjoyed this podcast. And if any of you want to chat with me on the DMs and Instagram, please do send me a DM and just chat with me. Tell me what's going on in your head. Tell me what struggles you've got. And let's go back and forth in a little chat, because I'm always here to listen. And I appreciate you guys very much. And I'll see you in the next one.